Hello and welcome to another VoD review. It is your senpai Maddox here, coming in, trying to give some good criticisms to our Gold 1 friend here on Reyna on Ascent. We're going to be looking at all the good, all the bad, and everything in between. So let's start this off. We're on pistol round defense side, and it looks like, let's look at our comp here. We have a Sky, a Sova, Reyna, Omen, and a Jet. No Sentinel. Very cool against a Sova, Reyna, Jet, Killjoy, Sage, and they have two Sentinels. Honestly, if I was to guess who was going to win this game, I would definitely say them, just based off their comp lineup. But, you know, it's all about the player, you know, that really makes the character, not the character that makes the player. So let's just see how this plays out, and let's get started.
Oh, bro, what? Don't say them. I like every map.
Oh, hell yeah.
Heaven sucks. I love split.
Bro, my favorite is Heaven.
Revealing
And
area.
then icebox.
My favorite is Heaven.
Okay, taking some pop shots, man. You're going for standard. Oh, you didn't hear this coming? Alright, that just tells me you gotta pay attention, alright? Because it's very obvious with those shock darts where they're coming from and where they sound, where they're gonna land. And if you've never seen this before, you should know now. And you should never get caught off by this, that, hey, the Sova on the other team knows how to do the double shock darts cat.
Almost
Mid.
died. One on A.
I am it.
Shock dart.
Alright, let's just look at your crosshair placement. Look how low you're aiming. Okay, you can't really see. Okay, look how low you're aiming, right? This is a very poor crosshair placement because you're not aiming at head on default, right? Normally, even if there's no one near you, right, you should always be trying to aim at the head level, right? Just because it's a good habit to pick up. So you just aiming this low just tells me that you don't have it naturally, and you need to pick that up. You know, you got to practice it. And the only way you practice is by thinking about it, right? There's nothing else you can do besides thinking about it and trying to guess where head is until you finally get where headshot level is.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Coming.
What?
Holy, your Sky. Gold Skies or something else.
Oh, easy. Why you guys?
So you see your teammates here, right? They're fighting, and okay, hold on. The side's being blocked. Okay, we know, right? The Sage is left side.
What?
Okay, we know he's still left side. Your teammate flashes because he's really dumb. Like, this is really bad, right? People that are in like gold, like unless you practice this guy, like don't be throwing flashes like this, right? Boom, you get blind. You should be hopping down, going generator, right? There's no reason for you to hide here because your teammates are in front of you, but you also want to get into a good position in case they both die. You can be there to kind of trade out. So going generator until you get unflashed, right? Pushing generator to the right side and then trying to get in front and next to them and pushing in, right? Like push in, try to get there.
Oh, easy.
But thankfully your Sky gets the kill. We go to the next round.
Don't mean that about.
Okay, so one thing I've noticed watching these VoD reviews is for some reason low-level players just love to like save second round, like not even like invest money. Like, let's see if we can find, like, look at this, right? Light armor, like this person, like people that buy light armor are just asking to throw it around because you can easily get shit on by the right click of the classic, right? So like this Jet full buys like a Phantom and full arm or full shields, right? And everyone else is buying like half shields for some reason. Like you should be buying full shields. Whenever you win the pistol round, you should be full buying, right? Investing heavy into it because you want to win that second round because it's a guaranteed free round because they lost pistol. More than likely they're going to save. If they do force, you want to be able to have good utility to stop them, because that's the difference between winning pistol round and losing pistol round is the amount of utility that you will have. And if you have no utility, no armor, right, no shields, then you're just asking to get shit on by a force round, right? And then like even next round, if you guys like lost this one, right, you guys wouldn't have enough to full buy next round. So you guys are literally giving up 2 rounds in a row if you guys lose this round, because you guys like have like a mixed buy like this. So whenever your teammates ask, do we force or what do we buy after we win pistol round, be like force, like full buy all the way, right? Buy full utility, buy full shields, buy whatever gun you want, right? And then if we find out that they're forcing, tell them to use their utility to try to get easy picks because they're not going to have the utility they need.
We survive.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Bulldog is don't mean that about.
Revealing area.
Yes.
So look at this crosshair placement again. What if someone peeks you out right now, right? While you're holding this, like when you're coming here, why is your crosshair here and not here waiting for them to come in and peek you? There's no reason for you to preempt to the wall here because we have no clue where anyone is at on this side. We hear the turret, so we know there's a turret here, but we don't know where the killjoy's at. She could be mid, she could be close baiting it, she could be walking up, right? So if you have your crosshair here and she walks up on you, you would have to flick, right? Flick so far. And if your flick isn't that good, right, because you have poor crosshair placement, you're gonna die to a pistol or a shit gun or a force up. Okay, and then when you are peeking this, like, so when you push, right, you shouldn't just push right away. You should give it maybe like a second or a half a second, right? Because you want to see if they jump up, if they come and peek you, right? We don't know what they're gonna do because if it's a stack, right, you would either have to get one and dismiss. But if you're playing a different character, right, like let's say you're playing like a Sova or an Omen that doesn't really have a quick escape, right? You need to chill for a second and make sure they're not rushing you, stacking, right? That way, if they are, you'll see them, you can get away. Or if they aren't, then, you know, it's just good to just kind of see, hey, how many people are here? If no one's here, then you can push up, right? Again, there's no reason, like, why, there's no reason to keep your crosshair on the wall because you're not going to shoot anyone at the wall here, right? You're always going to be shooting someone over here to the right where, you know, this angle's at. So your crosshair should always be hugging the angle, obviously not on the wall part.
There's a bottom.
Take my royalty guy.
Nothing.
What the? Take my bulldog.
Cutting their vision.
Revealing area.
Hey man, there's two guys in there. Oh no, never mind. Just one guy now. Maybe another.
And one is high mid. Bro, one go A lobby, one go B lobby.
One enemy
Yep.
remaining.
She is still on top of.
Feeling safe.
She went top.
To the right, to the right,
30 seconds left.
But don't peek.
the right side.
Never
All right, so this tells me that you need either a better headset, right, or you need to listen better because you heard this guy shoot on the right side, right? I know sound's not the best in this game, but even you can tell, like sometimes really clearly what direction they're shooting from. So you don't need to preempt this left side here, preempt the right side. Okay, let's skip over. So we're going to the first round. This would be a bonus round, and you should be investing in armor here because full shields. You can invest in your devours if you want, but you know, full shield tier for sure because like you're still gonna have enough to buy next round even if you guys lose this. Right, this would be your guys' bonus round. Honestly, like in this situation, I would probably give my stinger to my Sky and maybe either buy my own stinger or invest in full utility because maybe everyone else wants to kind of like full buy and get guns and we might not be able to buy as a team together next round. So that's just something to keep in mind, right? Like economical game.
Please, everyone be chill.
Sorry, bro. I didn't realize you were talking to me.
So like, see, like you're by not using this and not giving this stinger to anyone, you're literally wasting $1,000. If you're gonna do this, right? There's no reason to buy the stinger last round. Just keep the ghost or buy a frenzy or something, right? Because like if you're just gonna toss it the next round, literally no point in using it. Sure, you got 2 kills with it, but like why not just keep using it? Otherwise, it's just a waste. Like if you got 2 kills with it last round, okay, it paid for $400, so it's still a waste of $600.
Habibi, chill.
Okay. All right. So okay, you go back to it. I like this. All right. I'm fine with this. Keep using this.
Revealing area.
So you hesitate for a second, which is good. I'm trying to listen to see if they're coming. But again, this pre-aim through the wall, really, really bad.
Killjoy, aim.
Shot down.
Fuck, bro, you guys.
No chance.
Feeling safe.
Reloading.
The Sova's dangerous, by the way. Yeah.
They don't.
Cutting their vision.
Okay, so your position has already been known. They know you were cat, right? There's no reason for you to overfight this at all, right? I would actually reposition myself and maybe chill back and play your stinger, let them get close and then play your stinger, or you know, maybe go towards A main again and play close like you did before, but you've done it, so they might expect it, right? That's what you got to keep in mind. But you fighting here with the sheriff, like there's no need, like they know you're here. They've thrown 2 mollies. There's 2 guys have seen you top mid here. Again, this is just unnecessary aggression that you don't need to do. Like you can aggress somewhere, I'm fine with, like follow the drone in A main or something, but you don't need to aggress cat, especially with a sheriff against rifles. Good shot. Ooh. Couple good shots, but again, this is a bad habit. We don't need to overfight here with the sheriff. It's just asking for a bad time, especially when one of our guys is DC'd, right? It looks like he's disconnected. Sure, you get those 2 picks, but like, what happens when you play against better players that kill you for doing something stupid like this, like fighting unnecessarily, right? So like, we're trying to build not just like a good aimer can get all the way to radiant, all right? Don't get me wrong, a good aimer can. As long as you know how to play duelists, you can literally just run in and just kill everyone in this game. But we're trying to build you so you can play, you know, smart, right? Play as a smart player. And then coming here, fighting mid unnecessarily is not a smart thing to do. You're asking to get killed and throwing away your life. But those were some good shots, I'll give you that much.
Come on, guys, take out their healer.
Need the drop.
And they got the boost.
Thanks.
There it- it's
Revealing area.
Alright, so we know where he's going to be at. The drone's obviously going to spot you. You need to throw the flash there before. Okay, so like, boom. Okay, he's drone close. Alright, he's going to see you. You're not going to time him. Throwing your flash high, make him a little nearsighted. Let him shoot the flash, or if he doesn't shoot the flash, he's going to try to pre-fire you, right? And then throw your second flash at the same time. Might be like, could be what you do, right? Just depends like what kind of read you got here. But it's very obvious this guy's going to pre-aim, pre-fire you because he knows where you're coming from. Okay, we'll just skip around to the next round.
Revealing area.
Like, oh my.
So this is what happens when you just stand still holding an angle like that. You're just asking to get pre-fired and pre-aimed. Because a lot of the times, well, first off, these people know you push A main a lot. So if they know that because you've done it a few times already, they're going to expect you to be somewhere A main, right? This guy just peeked and just pre-fired towards the entrance, and you just happen to be there standing still. Now what you'll see is a lot of professional players will jiggle left and right when they're holding an angle, so they don't become an easy target, right? They would have to really timing you really well in order to get you when you're peeking out and headshot you right away, right? And then usually what will happen is when you're jiggling and you see them, you flash in order to peek out again because they know you're there. They're gonna, you know, either post up for you or they're gonna jiggle themselves to try to get you. Okay, so that's how I would change what I'm doing here in this situation. Instead of standing still, I would jiggle, and I could give you the edge and make it so you don't actually die to that
One
guy.
enemy remaining. Feeling sight.
Revealing
Any smart player, right, is gonna know, oh, Reyna flashed, but she's not here, and I didn't peek it right away. Let me clear a wine. The only way they don't do this is if maybe your Sova's here and you don't flash and your Sova jiggle peeks for you, and it makes it seem like the Sova's anchoring A instead of you and maybe your cat. Because you have been spotted cat a couple times before. You keep switching it up, which is good, right? It's good in the brain sense, right? But it might not be good for your teammates because they're like, oh my god, this guy's not anchoring or playing the spot that he chose, you know? So again, like getting wine is nice, but the thing is, you're not like a really good person like by yourself to do it because, and especially against like worse players, this works. Against better players, they should know that you could be wine. Okay, just keep that in mind when you do this. And then like, if you were like a Cypher or like a Killjoy, it'd be a little bit better too because something can spot the aim in entrance. And you also got to call them out that something could be there. Like they could come up. Three there. Scary.
Feeling sight.
Are they all pushing?
Yeah, they're all here.
Again, we get to the same thing where you're just kind of holding the angle and you just become a very easy target for anyone that expects you to be there.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Like you got to be quick. You were able to get the first shot off, right? But if you're not quick enough to hit those shots, like
into the unknown.
you just become a very easy target, a sitting duck for them.
Revealing area.
Cutting their vision.
Oi, bro. Bro.
Spike planted.
Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Revealing area.
Out of charges.
Reloading. Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Bro.
Oh, good shots.
So take the river.
You failed. Now sleep.
Oh, damn.
Reloading.
Okay, well, look good. Look like some good shots coming out of you. That's what you love to see. It's just crosshair placement sometimes that makes me wonder. Right, you have good flicks. Crosshair placement though, kind of scary.
Revealing area. Shot down. Reloading.
Flash हो गया
He's stuck
flash
50.
Need some better spray control right there.
Feeling sight. Scout destroyed. One enemy remaining.
Care.
Sky, can you heal me?
They're saying that she's AFK.
If we all go.
Wait.
Just fine with this.
Solid round, solid round. Good shot, solid round. Maybe a little bit better spray control, but overall good shots.
Rina, move. Rina, move.
Oh my, so I love you so much.
Nowhere to run.
You're saving a lot.
Just want to kiss you. No, I just want to kiss you.
They're pushing A.
Cutting their vision.
Who's singing?
They're still on A.
What if they walk up right here?
A main, care.
Hi.
Revealing area. There they are.
Just over so far.
Yeah, I think there's at least two there.
Level 1. Neutralized.
Oh, bro, accidentally. Bro.
Okay, they're rushing.
One enemy remaining.
Bro.
He's trying sniper, okay.
Bro.
And you will stop.
I mean, so much. I mean,
Revealing area.
inventory so much.
I think B. B.
I'm ulting. I'm ulting now.
Yep, just wait. Sub outside B. Sage and B main.
One enemy.
Alright, so whenever your Sky ulties, if you just look at the minimap where it goes, and as soon as it turns blue, that's exactly where you know where they're at. That means they're close to it, within like 5 feet of it. So you don't need to be walking here, especially when they call it's going to be a B hit. You could probably safely assume that if anyone's here, they're going to be like either towards mid or towards tiles, if anything, right? And they're not going to be like right where you're at.
He's outside.
So walking here is like fine, but like you should be like going a little bit quicker because they're not going to be here.
Yeah. But he has
Especially after the Sky ulties.
Oh boy. Can he ace us? Never know.
Yes.
He's still to the left because he fired his dart.
Getting rid.
Don't do that again.
I need myself a fancy
Come on,
map.
give it to me.
What do you need?
Come on, give me that. Giant river. Bro, I'm
Revealing area.
playing.
Sage.
There's a couple there. Reyna plus Silva. Got to play back.
B clear.
Nowhere to run.
setting up.
I think.
Why? There's no reason. Okay, if your Sky's here, and you hear them rotating back, there's no reason for you to run all the way through our spawn to get to B, right? That's just like a waste of time, right? If there's a lot towards A, we know there's at least 2 or 3, right? And he's fighting, like, you should be going and pushing towards tiles and then trying to cut him off. If there's someone already in B, it's whatever, right? Like, until they plant bomb, you can assume that they don't have bomb in B site, right? You can assume that maybe the bomb was over here towards A, right? But if they do plant B when you're rotating through tiles, then you know these 2 guys that are coming are going to be late, and the pressure is going to be on. They're probably going to run the entire way because they know that, oh shit, we're not near bomb. Especially in gold, they're going to panic, and they're going to be like, oh, we have to get the bomb as soon as possible, otherwise they'll defuse it, you know? So you rotating this way, it actually just takes so long, especially when your Sky is mid.
Yeah, apparently they're not.
Stealing sight. Spike planted.
Oh. Gotta hit those, gotta hit those. But yeah, so that rotation there by you is really bad. See if we can fast forward through this.
It's easy, it's easy.
Revealing area.
Nah, bro, I'm playing this. B, it's B. Oh, I'm literally blending.
Cutting their vision.
I'm playing careful this time. Careful. Bro, they was there, hello. KJ was here. Enemy spotted. Bro, kill him.
Honestly, if the wall was the enemy, dude, you would fuck up this wall 10 out of 10 times. This crosshair placement, though.
I'm not.
Inside A main.
One enemy remaining.
No way.
Also, look at the... okay, I want to guess this maybe because you don't look at your minimap enough, right? But, like, you're expecting tiles there when all your teammates are pushed up mid. I would assume, like... First off, I wouldn't even rotate this way, right? If my teammates are pushed in mid, I have a teammate that's pushing through B that's already in their spawn. I can assume this entire area right here is clear, and the enemy is locked in right here in A main and deep A main right here, right? So you going up here and coming towards, you know, cat and mid is literally redundant because we know they're locked in here, and you're giving them an out to get all this control right here, right? They can literally come from here and then come all the way over here if they really want to because you are giving it all up. So again, against better players, they're going to take advantage of, hey, this guy's not peeking, right? Maybe let's try prodding in, seeing if we can find him because he's low and we know you didn't heal, right? So again, that's how you're going to get counterplayed really, really well.
Second.
Speaking, this is how.
Okay, so now we're on attack side. You're going with the ghost, which I'm totally fine with.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
You should be as soon as he gets that kill, right, with the shock darts, your first instinct as the duelist is, oh, that means if there's a guy on A site, he is isolated by himself because he does not have a cat guy to back him up. So what you should be doing as soon as he gets that kill, right, is flashing in and running in. Your Omen has the right idea. He's already in. He's not even a duelist, he's already in, right? And the dog's coming too. So like literally that should be your first instinct.
Cutting their vision. There.
There they are.
Oh, one hit, one hit.
Shot down.
Healing.
How you doing,
Come
boys?
in. Jet, come in.
Right here.
Healing. I'm out of heat.
Careful,
I
Salah.
still landing one.
No reason to spam the wall. It just gives away your position. If they retake this, it gives them a good chance of knowing where you're at and know where you can be at based off timing.
Bro, mosquito
One
is coming
enemy
on my
remaining.
face. What the fuck?
Revealing area.
Mosquito.
Bang.
Freaking mosquito!
Reloading.
Guys, fine. Hold. One under, go.
He's
Shit, the
left.
fuck.
again, let's look at your crosshair placement. Not even like slightly like it's chest area instead of head, right? It's slightly below, so it ends up at the chest. I just want to reiterate again how important crosshair placement is.
I'm still hungry.
Don't listen. Door Scott, because I'm the biggest big brain in your.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Shock
Oh,
dart.
bro, I can take it.
Shock dart.
Blocking sight. Stealing sight.
Unravel, I think. You see you're there. अच्छा एक
Spike planted.
wait guys wait.
Stealing sight.
Revealing area. Found them.
Headshot. One enemy remaining.
No, what it?
Okay.
Kozo,
Yeah, they are forcing.
All right, let's see. So this is pretty basic rounds, right? Also, like, did you again, like I said before, a waste of money. Like, we don't want to be wasting the money, and you don't get full armor. I don't know why you're not getting full armor. Armor is literally your best friend, and you should always try to get it whenever you can.
Watching here.
Come, guys, I'm waiting for you guys. No.
Cutting their vision.
They are rotating.
Okay, so I'll
Sky, can you hear me?
guys.
Rina and Sova both on A. Sova and Rina both on A. Rush. Go.
He was 104.
Both were one mid.
All right, we're in a 2v2 post plant situation, right? The only way, like the way we need to do this is one of you holds stairs push, right? The other one holds the right side lane push, right? And then you need to be in a position to where if your Omen holds stairs or whatever, or wherever he's in boat, so he's in a really shit spot. But if he was on site, right, and he was holding stairs, you got to be in a position to hold his lane and then be able to swing right away on the stairs. But your Omen's in a really bad spot taking battles. He shouldn't be. And so what you need to do here is just hide
So we attacked 18.
and just like your Omen needs to be spotting for you. That's what he needs to be doing. But right here, you just need to be taking an early battle because you do have a couple Devours left, or just hiding backside, right?
1-8. So he's not low.
Because you got to remember they can go left or right. I don't know where your Omen's pushing.
One enemy remaining.
I'm low, so you cannot die. Please, so.
Don't die. Peek, run. Bro, save your gun.
City. Spawn.
You're at Omen.
Oh, barely got you. Unlucky.
I
Okay, that could have been very scary. If that Reyna killed you there, you could have been in a really bad spot. Because your Omen was an idiot trying to push him. Like, push to their spawn. And then right here, let's just slow this down and reanalyze this. Because this is like a prime example of like spray control that's really bad. Right? So you come in here. Okay, you start shooting. And your crosshair is not even on him. Right? So that's just a bad flick and a bad trigger discipline. Like, you pulled the trigger down too quickly. Right? You bring it over. Okay? And so the first two shots hit. Right? Like the second and third shot hit. Right? But because you don't control for the spray, it goes to the left. And then you overcompensate and shoot the wall, right? Like, so I was like, it could have been good, like if you got that kill, right? If you had good aim right there. But like because of poor aim, poor trigger discipline, poor spray control, it resulted in you not getting that very easy kill.
Jet revive me, Jet. Revive me,
No
Jet.
more hacks needed for
Stealing
Sova.
sight.
Yeah, Jet revive. Jet revive me, Jet. Revive me, Jet. Oh, enemy spotted. Oh my heck.
Nice. Sova plays towards A, and then Killjoy thing plays towards B. Or Sova might play B, and Killjoy plays A.
Down.
Sub on me. Come. Sub on me.
Spikes down.
Come on, guys. Why are you
You
still in
come
mid?
on. Cause we are so pro.
That was unlucky. Like your Omen's just running in by himself. Either you need to be up with him or you need to tell him to slow down because you're not close enough to him, right?
You guys don't listen. You guys don't listen. Don't. Then I'm gonna kill you. Don't. One swarm grenade here. Trade here. And then kill you.
I didn't
Flash.
kill this one.
I killed this one. I killed that Lambo.
Reloading.
No, you are standing very.
Rena's low. Don't let her heal.
Let the door close.
Cutting their vision.
Bro, why did it me?
The door is broken. Oh, almost a good trade. Either 130. You're only need to touch him once, or you need to get a good headshot, another good headshot there. But it was a good try. Or another body shot. It's unlucky. That guy hit a nice headshot on you. Can't do much about that. It was a good trade. Like you almost had the good trade there. If you had a better gun, you killed that guy, and you trade him perfectly. Like if you had a stinger there, or any rifle, right? You trade that guy 100%.
Listen, let
Stealing sight.
His arrows are weak.
now I'm gonna this. No, wait. Killjoy is not playing A. City one.
Guys.
Oh damn, move on.
Hawk out. Blinded.
They will cover. See nothing.
Alright, so whenever we make a lot of noise in one spot of the map, usually in these lower level brackets, they're gonna over rotate to it, right? The Sage plays mid, this Omen I think was here, or who someone was over here, right? Someone killed your Jet, or the Reyna did, right? And then she obviously got traded out mid. There was also one more there. But usually they over rotate like this, right? Oh, nice lag. One guy mid.
Notice. Fast. Oh, no time. GG. Nice round. Nice try.
Last player.
Oh my god. That.
This is like, okay, so like when you're in a 5v4 situation like this, you guys should be just grouping up together and just trading out, whether it be a main or up mid somewhere, right? Because they have the man disadvantage, and one guy has to get 2 kills before he dies in order to even it up. So as long as someone goes in and either gets the entry or dies and gets traded right away, you guys will always maintain the advantage, and that's all you want.
Bro, you didn't even tell him once.
Cover going out.
It's fine.
Shadows traveling.
You should run. Blinded.
Dude, why haven't this or why haven't this saved it? I don't know. What's happening, guys?
Cutting their vision.
Last player standing.
Back.
On my
And see how many people are there. And
Shock
do
dart.
this. If you can, if you want to.
cutting their vision.
Grab it. Right there. One heaven. And everything there.
Hawk out.
It's over.
Reloading.
They're rotating A.
Nowhere to run.
Don't do it. Shut up, I'm not doing it.
Stealing sight.
The hunt begins.
One enemy remaining.
Last please.
Damn, you guys making this game look extra hard. Like this game should have been like super. Like as soon as it's 4v5, all you have to do is just stick together and just straight out. Like you don't even have to hit a site. Like just going mid, right? And just like if anyone peeks you, just overwhelming them because it's literally 5 guys on one. It's your best bet.
Next Go A, go A. Keep on going on A. Go, get inside.
One generator. Hey,
Alright,
let's use
we're rushing,
it,
we're
bro.
rushing, we're rushing.
One combi
Nice. Comments.
supporting up.
And that's a GG's right there.
Attackers
All right, so like, listen, right? I'm sure it feels hard playing these games, but when you think about it, right, and if you understand how to play the fundamental aspect of the game, it doesn't get that hard, right? It doesn't become so difficult. So all we need, like in these 5v4 situations on attack, is just to group up and go somewhere together, right? Whether it be A main or mid somewhere, up mid or up cat, right, or B main, doesn't really matter. As long as you guys are together, as long as no one on their team gets 2 kills, it's very easy to win that round because all you have to do is just trade out or get the entry pick and make it a 5-on-3. So let me just go over some main points that I want to talk about, right, to summarize this VoD review. First one being your crosshair placement is fucking atrocious, right? You love aiming at the walls for some reason. You love not aiming at head, right? Those are 2 big things you have to fix if you want to, become a better player, right? Second thing, you might have good aim, good quote unquote good aim here in this bracket, but your decision making right now can lead to some very, very bad situations where you cost your team some rounds. Okay, so this is called Valorant IQ / decision making, right? Game sense, and knowing where they're at, where they could be at, and what you need to hold as a defender or as an on offense where you need to like post up at, right? And the only way you get better at that is just by playing the game and understanding, like, okay, if someone does X, or if I do X, they always do Y, so that's when I do Z, right? Or if I do X, they do Y, I can do W. Like every action is going to cause a reaction, and it's usually going to be very, very, very typical response. In these lower brackets, if you guys smoke and throw a shitload of utility on A or B, they're probably all going to rotate towards A or B, which means that you can let someone lurk into the opposite site or lurk up mid on any map, right? And try to get either flank or try to get control of the other bomb site, right? So that is usually the best way to get and outplay people in these lower brackets. But as an individual, right, if you're just by yourself, just know that when I do this, they're going to do this, and in order to counter that, like either I beat them when they do that, or I need to counter it with a different play. Okay. And then game sense, like I said, just being aware of what's open, what's not open. Like if you see all your teammates mid, you see someone in their spawn, there's no reason for you to go mid. Even if you're low, all you have to do is post up on A main and make sure they don't come out of A, and then you have them boxed in to A main and deep A main. Like I was saying. But anyways, again, that's just gonna come from playing and again, understand the game. Think about the game critically in order to improve your game sense and your game knowledge. All right. And then thirdly, I would say is as the entry on attacker, you need to be willing to go in. You cannot be scared. You are a duelist. Duelist, you want to take duels and you want to fight, and you need to open up the site for your team. Okay, you cannot be playing scared. You cannot be playing back and letting someone else go in first. You need to get in, follow your entry pathing. If you do not know what entry pathing is, pay for another coaching lesson. All right, or look it up. What path is an entry pathing? What path should an entry take in order to have good entry pathing? And entry pathing is not always going to be the same. It's always going to depend on what your teammates clear for you with utility, or what you need to clear yourself, right? And maybe I'll make another YouTube video on that later. But as the entry as a duelist, you need to be going in and clearing out your corners for your teammates, or dying and letting them trade you. And they should be trading you if they're going in second and third. If they're not, that means they're not doing their job. All right. Anyways, that concludes this VoD review. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask on Reddit, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you guys follow my stream, join my Discord to receive access to very, very cool monthly giveaways. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.
Pokemon, Mega Evolution, Science, Cockfighting.
Many men wish their